Here they are. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, guys? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Today we're at Bethpage Trail. We haven't been here in, I don't know, since like February, right? Yeah.
Before COVID stole our dreams.
So we're back here today to do 10 miles. And I'm going to do it in a shoe that I've never worn before, and I'm honestly kind of scared because I haven't heard the greatest reviews about this shoe, but I wanted to see for myself just how good or bad they are. And that is the Nike Tempo Nex %. So we're going to lace these up, we're going to go for a 10-mile hopefully run, and we'll hope for the best, and then we'll come back and we'll talk all about my first run impressions of the Nike Tempo Nex %. You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
I don't know, Kate. I'm feeling like some 7s for you today. I'm feeling like we're gonna get some 7s.
I don't know about that.
I'm back for my run, and now it's time to talk all about my first impressions of the Nike Tempo Nex %. So I guess we should start with what the point of this shoe is. And Nike made this as a training companion to their super shoe, the Alpha Fly. It's supposed to be a shoe that can do tempo days, but also do daily training mileage. Some other shoes in its class would be like the Endorphin Speed from Saucony or the New Balance TC. So as I kind of touched on earlier, this shoe hasn't gotten the best feedback from other YouTubers. And not even just YouTubers, just runners in general who bought the shoe. I mean, when I first got the shoe, I posted it on my Instagram, like on my story or something. And I can't tell you how many people messaged me and were like, oh, I had to return that shoe after one run because I couldn't stand it. And to be honest with you guys, this was a shoe that I planned on skipping. I mean, the negative reviews didn't help, but I was kind of like, I think it's gonna be like a nightmare for my foot and my running stride, and I just don't think that I'm gonna get it. But I did get a lot of requests to try it, and after some thought, I was like, how can I not try a shoe that just has so much technology in it that it's ridiculous? I mean, this is a running shoe review channel. I should try out the shoes with the most tech. So here we are. It is in my hand, and I've gone for a 10-mile run out of the box with these shoes. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't hate them as much as some other people have. Was it one of my favorite shoes ever? No, and we'll get to why that is, but I didn't have the same negative experience that I've seen a lot of others having. So we're gonna talk about all that in a moment, but before we get started, I do wanna let you guys know that I paid for the Nike Tempo Nex % with my own money. No one sent it to me for the purpose of review. No one's paying me to make this review. I'm just making it because I'm a running shoe nerd, and this is a weird passion of mine. So without any further ado, let's get on with it, and let's start with the specs of the Nike Tempo Nex percent. The Nike Tempo Nex percent is 8.2 ounces for a women's size 8, but for my size 10.5 women's, this shoe came in at 9.3 ounces. This shoe has a 4mm drop with what Running Warehouse says is 45mm of stack in the heel and 41 in the forefoot. I couldn't find this measurement on Nike's website, so we're just gonna go with what Running Warehouse has to say about it. And the interesting thing and kind of a head scratcher to me is that I believe for this shoe to be like race legal for the elites, it has to be 40mm or under 40. It kind of just doesn't sit well with me that Nike would even make a shoe that could potentially not be legal to race in. Like, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know, it's just how I feel about it. And yes, the Nike Tempo Nex percent is true to size. Nike is using their signature Flyknit for the upper of the Tempo Nex percent. It is a booty-like construction, so there's no detached tongue here. And they also went with that asymmetrical lacing that we see in their racing shoes like the Alpha Fly and in the Nex percent. And at the back, we do have a sturdy heel counter for some extra support. Is it just me, or does every single version of Flyknit feel different? I've never been a huge fan of Flyknit, but I gotta say, this was not terrible. Would I prefer mesh? Yes. But I was able to get a decent lockdown fit in this shoe. It is kind of wide in the forefoot, and I have a narrow foot like I always say, but I think that wider footed people would be okay here. The real issue for them might be here. It does fit very snug. There are some stability welds in the midfoot. You can kind of see them, but it's pretty minimal. Obviously, as you might be able to tell, this is a very breathable shoe. Air passes right through that forefoot because of the Flyknit material. One thing that did bother me initially on this upper though is this toe cap that Nike, I guess, put here on the Flyknit to make it a little bit more durable. For some reason, it was hitting my toenail in an uncomfortable way, and my toenails are short, guys. So I'm not really sure what that was about. I felt it for like maybe the first mile and a half, and then it went away. But just something I do want to point out. The asymmetrical lacing here is fine. I don't really know that it does anything special to the shoe. I can take it or leave it. The ankle collar area of this shoe is kind of minimal. It's very thin here, and I was worried that this would irritate my ankle area, but I wore a longer sock, so that really wasn't an issue, thankfully. There is some padding here inside of the ankle area, kind of like what we see on the Nex percent, and Nike added a pull tab. So yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite upper, but it's not my least favorite. Now, the upper of this shoe is one thing, but the real craziness is in this midsole. Nike pretty much took every single technology that they've ever thought of and just threw it at this shoe, which to some can be a good thing, and to some can be a really bad thing. For starters, Nike is using their signature ZoomX cushioning here. We've seen it in all of their premium race shoes. I do love ZoomX. I think it is so superior to a lot of other foams on the market. It is very soft and very responsive. But Nike knows it's not the most stable and durable foam out there. So in the heel, they have their React cushioning, which we see in a lot of their daily trainers. But that's not all. Nike also has a full-length composite plate in this shoe to propel you forward. And last but not least, of course, the star of this shoe and the star of the Alpha Fly are these Zoom AirPods under the forefoot for even more response. So as you know, if you watch the first half of this video, I ran 10 miles in the Tempo Nex percent out of the box. I clocked in at 1:15 even and at a 7:30 pace overall. The first mile in this shoe, I hated. It felt uncomfortable and very stiff. Not quite the softness that I was expecting. But as the run progressed and I started to get into a rhythm, then I started to kind of enjoy this shoe. It feels kind of like a springboard in gymnastics. I literally have not done gymnastics since I was like 4. Those things are like you jump on them, but you have to jump with some force for it to really spring back. And that's kind of what I experienced here. So because of that, maybe when I was warming up and just getting into my groove, I wasn't really utilizing it as best as it can be utilized. Because when I started to pick up the pace, then I really enjoyed this shoe and had fun running in it. Especially going downhill, you can really feel that pogo stick vibe that these Zoom AirPods produce. I was really cruising and enjoying this shoe up until about like mile 9. That's when my form started to break down and I could feel the midsole working against my foot a bit. I definitely started to overpronate more at that point. Yes, I was overpronating in this shoe for sure. But once I, as the runner, started to become less efficient, then I felt like the midsole also started to become less efficient. And for that reason, I wouldn't recommend this shoe for daily training runs at all. In fact, I just think it would be a mess if you were trying to go moderate or easy or anything other than tempo in this shoe. The plate is also very stiff. It's not carbon, but I mean, it might as well be. It did help propel me forward, and it did work well with the Zoom AirPods. But if you're looking for the flex that the Endorphin Speed has in its nylon plate, you're not gonna get it here. This might be a good shoe to compare to the Endorphin Speed, in fact. To sum up the midsole after my first run, because I know we just kind of went on a tangent, I really did like it at faster speeds when I was in a rhythm. I liked it a lot less when my form started to break down. Then I felt like the ride of the shoe started to break down with it. Moving on to the outsole of the Tempo Nex Percent, Nike is using blown rubber. And so this design that you see here that kind of looks like a snake is the result of their findings of the different angles in the outsole that runners need traction in. Okay. So I actually thought that the traction on the shoe was really good. And I was really able to put it to the test because on the trail that I was running on, as you can see, there were lots of slippery, moist leaves. There was a bit of dirt, pavement. I have to say I never felt worried that I was going to slip. I thought that this rubber did really well gripping onto any kind of surface that was thrown at it. That being said, I think this rubber is thick and I think it makes an already stiff shoe feel even stiffer. And yes, I know that this is supposed to be a tempo day / daily trainer shoe. So they wanted to have a lot of rubber coverage here so that the shoe lasts a long time. And I understand that point, but I do think that we could take a little bit off of it. But all things considered, I didn't really mind this rubber, and in the end, it did what it was supposed to do, which is to prevent me from falling on my face, and I didn't do that. So that's great. The Nike Tempo Nex Percent is $199.95 on runningwarehouse.com. Nike, just thinking they can charge whatever they want for a shoe. This is not $200 worthy. There are other shoes in this category that are less money, that do the job just as well, and some may say better. Endorphin Speed. But if you're rich and you got money coming out the wazoo and you don't care about price, Running Warehouse has you covered. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can go and pick up your own pair. Keep in mind this is an affiliate link, but that doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can drop the money on these shoes and either love them or hate them for you so you don't have to find out yourself. So yeah, to kind of sum up my first impressions, I don't hate this shoe at all. In fact, I actually kind of liked it. I can't see myself doing any real training miles in this shoe. I mean, I think it would just be a mess for easy days. I can't wait to take you on a journey to 50 miles, you strange but beautiful thing. Well guys, that concludes my first run impressions of the Nike Tempo Nex Percent. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit that notifications bell down below so you can find out every time I upload a new video. It's just like so much tech in one shoe. I have another video for you guys on Sunday, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time.
Dropped. It's a crisp 48 because I'm a polar bear, unlike everyone else that's cold. The foliage, I mean, we're going for double digits. Well, I mean, we haven't been back here since half training. I can't wait.